All right, everyone, welcome back to another video today. I'm pretty excited about this one because it's about something that I really truly enjoy. If you guys have been watching my channel for any length of time, you probably know that I'm interested in theme parks, amusement parks, pretty much the same thing. Although I guess you can have an amusement park, but not necessarily a theme park. And this is just something I'm very passionate about because I grew up in Florida and I've been going to Disney World, Universal, and all those great fun theme parks for a very long time. So today I'm going to be talking about D23. And if you can see my screen, we're just going to pretty much go through a couple of the major announcements that were made in this year's convention and just go from there. Now, mind you, I feel like this convention, especially this year, is really important because since Epic Universe is coming out next year, I feel like Disney really had to come out full force. They had a lot of tricks under their sleeve. I didn't watch the actual event live like many of you did, perhaps. I think it was like exclusive on Fortnite, which is kind of strange, but fortunately, there were some people on YouTube streaming it live for others to see. But yeah, as we'll see, this is a nice little recap, and I'm just going to be reading through some of the announcements and giving you my thoughts. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, there's a couple different tiers of things we're going to be looking at here. We're going to be looking at the movies and the series that they talked about, and then we'll also look up some of the announcements that they made for the actual parks, which honestly, it's my favorite part. I do consider myself a Disney fan, but I'm less so on the movie and series, like the TV show side, and more so on the attraction side. So I think when we get there, it's going to be a lot easier for me to talk about all that stuff. But yeah, let's get right into it. So this website, this is just a website I pulled up here. I just went on Google and put, give me a list of the things that were announced, and this is Mashable. So it says D23 2024, every movie and series announced and shown at this year's fan event so far. So it says sequels, reboots, remakes, and more. So you can see here, Disney's biennial D23 Expo has followed hot on the heels of some surprises at San Diego Comic-Con in July, an event that saw the return of Robert Downey Jr. to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How do you one up that announcement with lots and lots of new ones? So it says day one of the weekend event saw the return of Disney classics like The Incredibles, Toy Story, Frozen, and between Disney Animation Studios, Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars, there was something for everyone. That's why we rounded up every announcement, trailer, teaser, remake, and more so you don't have to miss a thing. Now, I probably won't be able to play any of the clips in this article because it's probably going to be a copyright strike, but we can at least look at some images and talk about them. So let's start off with Moana 2. I mean, to be completely honest, I haven't even seen the original Moana, but I've heard really good things about it, and I feel like probably this one will be just as good. Honestly, I'm not even sure if is this Pixar. Let me see, is Moana Pixar? I don't think it is. Is it Pixar or DreamWorks? Okay, well, it's produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios, obviously. But does Disney own Pixar? Okay, so Disney does own Pixar. Okay, cool. So, okay, well, we'll get to YouTube later. That's why I have the tab open. But if we go here, yeah, so Disney Animation, probably really awesome. Haven't seen the original one, but again, have heard really good things about it. And I know that Moana can be seen in the parks now, which is pretty cool. And like I said, I'm sure this movie will be probably pretty good. But yeah, I don't really have much to comment on this one. I just want to go through all of them just for completeness sake. So yeah, let's just continue here. Okay, Snow White. So Snow White has been, the heat of large debates because of the casting and sort of the vibe of the casts. I don't really get too much into it because I'm not very political myself, but it seems like for a while Disney was kind of straying away from the original Snow White, which I personally don't really think is a great idea. But of course, I'm not making the movie, and with the actors and the actresses, it seems a little bit. They have some hot takes that again I won't get into here, but you can do some searching of your own. Especially Miss Rachel Zegler here, she has very strong feelings about Snow White and how she should be portrayed as a princess. So I mean, am I gonna see the movie? Probably not. But it's cool that we're talking about Snow White here because the other day I was just on Disney Plus thinking to myself like I have access to all these movies, but I've never really watched for as many Disney movies as I've watched, and really they haven't been that many. I've never gone through the whole list like chronologically and seen like I want to go through all the Disney classics from the first one all the way till now and just watch them to get a little bit of history and some context on the older movies and to really see how Disney animation evolved. So I don't know what list it was, but it was something like, let's see, Disney classic films in chronological order, let's say. So maybe it could have been any of these lists, honestly, but let's see, list of Disney classic films. Okay, yeah, so maybe it was this list, and you can see the first one here, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So I tried watching it, and I say try not because I watched it and didn't like it. It's just, life gets in the way, and sometimes you're not able to actually finish the movie. But my fiance and I did make it to this list, and I do plan on finishing all of these just because, again, I think it's kind of cool to have that context, that historical context of all the different types of Disney classic films they've made. And one of the really cool things about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, as I'm sure is the same for all these other animated movies, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but that's the point of this video. We're gonna sort of start in one thing and branch off to many other things, and then we'll get back to the main article. But there's an animation technique that Disney used a long time ago, and I'm trying to see if I can remember the name. Like Disney animation, let's see, 3D technology. I forgot the name of it, but let's see if we can. Oh, the multi-plane camera. There you go. I just found that out. The multi-plane camera Disney. So I don't even know. I would love to show videos. I don't really know what I am or not allowed to show when it comes to YouTube, but you can see this device right here that essentially had different layers. I believe these are just like different layers, but they had different scenes. So it created that 3D effect. And it's cool because when you watch something like Snow White, again, I'm sure it would probably be the same for other films, you can really see that 3D effect. So let me see, Seven Dwarves. Is there an example? Okay, here's like an image right here, but you can kind of see the different layers, right? You have sort of the foreground right here, and then you have the middle ground, and you have the background. So it really gives off this nice 3D effect. And by the way, if you want to see one of the original ones, I don't know if it's an original multi-plane camera or if it's just a replica, but inside of Disney's Hollywood Studios, let's see if we can actually pull up Google Maps here. In Disney's Hollywood Studios, there is a small museum that I believe is, if this is Mickey's Runway Railway, then it's probably going to be somewhere around here. Pixar Lane. I don't think it's Pixar Lane. Hyperion Theater, Disney Movie Magic, ABC Commissary, Vacation, Muppet Vision, Pixar, Jesse's Trading Post, Walt Disney Presents, I think so. This is History Museum on the Life of Walt Disney, featuring photos, models, sketches, and short documentary. Is it this one? Walt Disney Presents. Walt Disney Presents Hollywood Studios. I just want to make sure this is actually what we're doing. Okay, an interactive gallery. Oh, maybe this is it right here. Okay, no. I thought this was the multiple camera, but this little attraction inside of Hollywood Studios, very cool little museum, and it ends off that you can watch like a video of Walt Disney. I've been there for multiple years, in the past decade or so, and the video is always changing, but in here you can see a lot of history of Walt Disney and the parks and the movies and the series, and again, you can see that replica of the multi-plane camera if that's something you're interested in. I think it's super cool, but anyway, that was a super deep tangent after looking at Snow White. So let's get back to the list and see what else we got here. So we have a first look at Stitch and the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch.
Ohana means family.
I've seen Lilo and Stitch, really fun movie. I'm all for a live-action movie. I assume that the next one's probably going to be Lion King, maybe, because they're also doing a Lion King live-action movie, so that should be really cool. Although I just realized Lion King might not be here because that was already announced. I mean, people already knew about Lion King before D23, but this should be a really fun movie. I wonder if we can play a little bit of here. I hope I can show this on my video, but anyway. Okay, Incredibles 3.
Where is my super suit?
Also very cool. I only just recently, literally within the last month or two, saw Incredibles. Again, my fiance got me into it. She just said, hey, let's watch Incredibles. Incredibles 1, awesome movie. Incredibles 2, I mean, frankly, they're all awesome movies. And I think one of the funny things about this one is I finally found the origin of, so it's like Mr. Incredible becoming uncanny. Like, you watch one of these videos, again, I wish I can play it, but I guess we can do a little bit maybe. And of course, there's no sound. Oh, here we go. The Mr. Incredible is becoming uncanny, and then there was the other one. Let me see, Mr. Incredible. Is it like positive or happy or something like that? There you go. No? There you go. Yes. That song right there. You know, it's crazy how you can see a meme for like a long time and never know anything about it. And then all of a sudden you watch the original movie where it was from and you hear the song and immediately I just start laughing because I think to myself like, wow, this is the original song that it came from, the original movie that it came from. So it was just funny to tie all that back together. So yeah, pretty cool finding there. I think it's gonna be a really fun movie. It's officially in the works at Pixar, so that's pretty cool. Toy Story 5 teaser.
There's a snake in my boots.
Obviously very fun. Again, I just recently went through all the Toy Stories. I remember having Toy Story 1 on VHS as a kid. And again, just launched Disney Plus, and I saw Toy Story 1, 2, 3, 4 back to back. Like as soon as we finished one, saw the next one, so on and so forth. Frankly, I liked all of them. I believe the concept of this one is them focusing. Yeah, it says the gang will be fighting to stop their new child from becoming an iPad kid, which I think it's relevant. It's topical. So I think it's going to be really cool, and I don't really have much else to say besides that. I mean, the movies are great. They are definitely somewhat of a tearjerker. I think if you're a little bit of an older person, if you're a kid, maybe you don't really think about it too much, but definitely all that stuff is really cool. Very excited for Toy Story. We got Frozen 3. Never saw any of the Frozen movies. I am sad they took away a Maelstrom in Epcot to replace it with Frozen. If none of you guys know about that ride, where Frozen is today in Epcot, there used to be a ride called Maelstrom in Disney World. It was pretty much the same exact attraction, just with a different name, and it was like Viking inspired, a high seas Norwegian adventure, and it was super cool. It was like a fun little like ride you just get on and maybe go to sleep a little bit. I don't know if Frozen now still has like the backwards drop, but this also had the backwards drop, which was cool, something unique for its time. And this was one of those rides back then that you can just get on like immediately, and there was just no wait and didn't really have to worry about it. So I wonder if I can actually pull up. I have the Disney app, so I'm gonna see if we can look up the wait time for Frozen right now in Epcot, because still to this day that line is long. But Epcot might be closing at 9, so I'm not even sure if we can see it. But let's try it out. So I'm gonna look up Frozen. Is it Frozen Ever After? Maybe it's not called Frozen. Oh, there you go. It's actually a 20-minute standby wait right now. Although Epcot might be closing like now. Yeah, Epcot closes at 9, so I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it says they close at 9. It's a 20-minute standby, so if you get in line right now, you'll be able to ride on it. But every time I go, I remember when that ride came out, I mean, it was insane. I think it was even in the local news, just how crazy people were going for Frozen. So, excuse me, I think the ride's probably fun. I've never been on it, but who knows? I'm going to be in Epcot in a couple of weeks with my brother, so I don't know. Maybe we'll go on it just for fun, but we'll see. Getting back to this, Zootopia 2. Again, never seen any of these Zootopias, but you might see a sort of a pattern here where I know more about the parks. I do know that my beloved It's Tough to Be a Bug will be replaced by Zootopia, which is, you know, I mean, I'm always going to have a soft spot for It's Tough to Be a Bug. It's a Bug's Life in Animal Kingdom in the Tree of Life. But to be fair, there's probably just kids today that don't really resonate with it like my generation did, and you know, I guess for them it's cool to have something modern, something that they can truly enjoy and just appreciate more than I can at this point, because you know, it's time for something new. So you know what? Let them do it. Obviously, I'm going to be sad, but it is what it is, the way of the world. Haven't seen Zootopia 1. The implementation of it at the park will probably be awesome, and the movies are probably great, else they wouldn't make a second one, right? I think. And then we got Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which I did not even know about this. I don't watch Star Wars I feel like, I say as much as I should, only because I feel like, you know, like if you saw my video yesterday, you know, I talked about this book, for example, it's science fiction. I feel like I'm very much into science fiction. I enjoy that. So for me, like, I feel like I just need to give Star Wars an honest shot. And I don't know if it's going to be with this. Maybe this will be interesting enough for me to watch more Star Wars, but I probably should watch all the Star Wars in the chronological order. I know they don't follow like the 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's like the first movie's 3, then 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, or something like that. It's like a weird ordering. Maybe it's 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, something like that. But yeah, nothing much to say here. Agatha all along. I don't know. I didn't watch WandaVision, but that's cool. A new trailer for the WandaVision sequel series. I've heard very good things about WandaVision. I don't know who Agatha is, so I mean that's really all I'll say about that. Unfortunately, The Fantastic Four First Step snippet. I don't know what this is. Fans at D23 got an exclusive sneak peek at the initial teaser trailer for Marvel's The Fantastic Four First Steps. Got some stuff here. This didn't stop fans from recording and posting it across social media, though, and it can easily be found by searching. So, again, really cool stuff. I'm not that much into the MCU. There's a lot of things here about Marvel, so I might just skip over these just because, frankly, I don't know too much about them. Again, when we get to the park section, I think that'll be more my speed, so now I might start going through this a little faster. We have Avatar 3 is now Avatar Fire and Ash. I didn't realize that it's coming out that soon. I feel like the second one came out not too long ago. Maybe I'm just misremembering it, but I guess that's pretty cool that Avatar's getting a third movie that soon. Literally. Oh, wait a second. It's not 2025. It's 2024, so it's still more than a year away. So I don't know why I thought this was like this year. I was like, oh, that's crazy. I feel like the second one just came out, but that's really cool for Avatar. Freaky Friday. Okay, that's cool. Freaky Friday 2 is now Freakier Friday. Stars Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. The first one was an awesome movie. I remember watching on the Disney Channel. I think there's a what's that meme? The Disney Channel movie meme. Yeah, this one. When you saw this, you know the movie was going to be lit. I wish I can zoom in. I mean, this movie has... There you go. When you saw this, you know the movie was going to be lit. I remember watching this, and it's like, let's watch a Disney Channel movie. Something like that. I don't know.
Let's watch a Disney Channel movie.
But yeah, I remember watching Freaky Friday on Disney Channel. Awesome movie, and I probably will watch the second one. I mean, I feel like it's going to be one of those movies that's like, yeah, it's cool. I'll watch it for nostalgia. Do I think it's going to be amazing? Probably not. I hate to say it, but that's just my gut feeling. But maybe I'm surprised and it ends up being awesome. But yeah, I probably will watch it by the time it comes out. I don't know when it's going to come out, but sometime in 2025, by the time I watch it, I might already be married. So I'll go watch it with my wife. Then we have Tron Ares. I didn't realize there was so much here. I mean, there's a ton of stuff here. Tron Ares, Monster Jam, Win or Lose, Dream Productions, Elio, Hoppers. What is Hoppers? This looks cool. Newest original film, Hoppers, stars John Hamm, Bobby, and Piper. Is coming to theaters in spring 2026. I don't know. This looked more... For some reason, with a font like this, I was expecting something more science fiction-y. But then I saw this imagery. I don't know if it's the same movie, but it just looked different. We Bear Bears, a young girl who transfers her consciousness into a robot beaver. Okay, no. I think this is We Bear Bears, and Hoppers is something else. Hoppers looks interesting just based on the font. It looks like Courier New, you know? Courier New font. Okay, wow. Did I just find like a Google Easter egg here? When you put in the name of a font, it changes all of Google to look like... Well, I think we may have just found an Easter egg live. Go in Google and put Courier New font and watch Google change to that font in front of your eyes. So that's pretty cool. And then Mufasa, also pretty cool. Ironheart. I know I'm skimming through all this now. I didn't realize there was so much because, frankly, I want to get to the parks. Okay, so all that stuff. Percy Jackson. To be fair, I don't even know what a lot of these are. Andor, Ironheart. The last one I know for real is The Lion King. I think that's going to be a really fun movie to watch. I haven't seen The Lion King in a long time. Would love to rewatch it. I definitely need to rewatch it, but I think this one's going to be really cool. All right, now we're going to get to the part that I think I know more. Frankly, I wanted to get the movies and stuff out of the way first because I knew I could say more about the park. So I'm going to close this tab. We'll close all these tabs. And now we will start on another website. So this website is called Travel and Leisure, and I just looked up everything announced for Disney parks at D23, and I think this is when it's really cool. So let me take a breath. Been talking a lot. Now we're going to get into the next part here, Walt Disney World. Okay, so Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom, starting off with Cars. It says history is being made as Disney has announced the largest Magic Kingdom park expansion to date, and at the center of this expansion is a new land inspired by Pixar Animation Studios' Cars franchise. Lightning McQueen and crew will be racing into a reimagined area of Frontierland that will feature 2 all-new attractions, including a thrilling off-road rally race, taking guests beyond the fictional Radiator Springs. And do they have the other one? Take on wild terrain as you race across the landscape. Construction is expected to begin early next year. The land will also feature a family-friendly attraction for younger thrill seekers. Now, I've been looking on Reddit for a little bit, and people seem to think that it's going to... What was the section? Oh, the Americas. It was like the boat and Tom Sawyer Island of Frontierland, that sort of thing. I mean, that's okay. I haven't really, you know, done too much of any of that. And if they do decide to do that, yeah, like I said, that's fine with me. I was hoping that they would actually expand it because I'd rather see expansion instead of replacement. I mean, if you're going to build a brand new land, I don't really want to see it just stuck in an existing area. Just kind of branch off. I don't know, because they had this whole thing about Beyond Thunder Mountain, and I think we're gonna go back to Google Maps here. Let's look at the Magic Kingdom here. Magic Kingdom. So if I remember correctly, okay, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Let's change this to satellite. Right, so they had this whole area back here. Oh wow, this is pretty cool right here. So I don't know what they'll do with the train. I mean, the train is, yeah, it's right here in the middle of the way, but they did have some land back here that maybe they could do something with, and I was hoping that they would maybe expand it maybe back here somehow and do something with the railroad tracks instead of replacing. I think what they want to do, and you know what's crazy? I've never been to Tom Sawyer Island. That's wild. I kind of wish, yeah, rafts to Tom Sawyer. I've never done this before. Tom Sawyer Island, and then yeah, Liberty Square Riverboat and the Haunted Mansion. It's wild that I have been going to Disney World for so long and I've never done it, but they're saying they're gonna get rid of all this and they're gonna get rid of Tom Sawyer Island. This is what I've seen on Reddit. Is it true? I'm not sure. Does that mean they're gonna get rid of all the water? And now it's just gonna be more land and they're gonna use all this to put cars? It could be. Maybe they end up making all this water into land and that's where they put the track of cars. I'm not entirely sure, but again, just pure speculation. We'll have to wait till we hear something official. All right, the next thing, Villains Land. Okay, so I think this is sick because I'm super into horror stuff. I don't know how scary it will be. I don't know how much of a villain land it will be, but this to me sounds like a direct response to Epic's Dark Universe land. Okay, Dark Universe at Epic Universe. It sounds like a direct response to that. They came out with this Dark Universe in Epic Universe. It's all scary, it's horror, it's the Universal monsters, all that really cool stuff that goes into it. You got the makeup for the kids, you got the really cool scary ride, you got the lounges and the restaurants, and Disney's like, we gotta do the same thing because it sounds like people really love this, and it looks like they are. So yeah, hide your poison apples, inspired by the infamous villains of Walt Disney Animation Studios' classic films. Sounds a lot like Universal Monsters. The highly anticipated Villains Land is already underway at Magic Kingdom. So just saying, it sounds like a knee-jerk reaction to the Dark Universe land in Epic Universe, and I'm all for it. So I think it's cool. I think I'm very happy that there's competition because I feel like Disney was getting a little stale. So the fact that they're coming out with something new like this could be a lot of fun, and let's see what they do with it. Next thing we got here is the nighttime parade. So when the sun sets on Cinderella Castle, park guests can enjoy an all-new nighttime parade beginning on summer 2025. The nighttime spectacular Disney Starlight will fill Main Street USA and carry on the legacy of the former Main Street Electrical Parade. I remember watching the Main Street Electrical Parade for a long time when I was a kid, and it was an awesome parade. So I think that if they are going to continue doing more parades, and like they say here, utilizing latest technologies, I'm all for that. I typically don't wait for parades at the parks. I use that as a time to go on other rides, but if it's a new parade and it's awesome, maybe I'll make the exception for that one time to watch it. And of course, whenever I end up having kids, this will most certainly be one of the things I do for sure. All right, so now moving on to Animal Kingdom. So we talked a little bit about this already, the tropical Americas. So let's see what we have here. Disney Animal Kingdom theme park will reimagine the existing Dinoland USA into the lush tropical Americas. The 11-acre land will feature 2 new signature rides, an Encanto-themed attraction, and an Indiana Jones attraction. The latter, a reimagining of the existing dinosaur, will star everyone's favorite archaeologist and tell a completely new story from any other existing Disney park's Indiana Jones experience. So I think it was my brother that showed me an image, but if you do Disney World Indiana Jones ride, let's see, there was an image that came out, and if you look at it, it looks a lot like, let's see, Animal Kingdom. They didn't have an image. I'm looking for the exact image. Oh, here you go. So all new Indiana Jones, like this little vehicle right here, it kind of just looks like the time rover in Dino Land. So it wouldn't surprise me. It's probably going to be the same exact type of ride, just a lot newer, better effects. And I think if they keep my main thing with this ride, because Dinosaur is a ride that I was terrified of as a kid. I wish I can show you a picture of, me as a kid there, but I do have a picture of me on this ride when I was in Disney professional internship that I'll probably pull up here. This ride used to terrify me. So I think as long as they keep that same intensity, just like Dinosaur had, I'm all for it. If they keep the ride dark, if they keep it loud, if they keep it bumpy and really intense, that's the really important thing for a ride like this. So I'm not going to be too sad if they get rid of Dinosaur. It's old. I'm very, very happy that it's stuck around for as long as it did. But, if it's time, it's time. And I'm all for that. So
Hello there.
we're going to keep moving on here and see what else we got. So this is just talking more about the ride. And then an Encanto-themed attraction. And then, later this year with an anticipated opening day of 2027. Really cool. And then Animal Kingdom Park will also welcome a new Zootopia show to the Tree of Life Theater. So that's a lot of great things happening in Animal Kingdom, and I'm all for it. Looks like a lot of these things are happening within the next 4 years. It's a pretty good timeline. There's a lot to do, and they just need to make sure it's done right. Okay, now I think personally for me, one of the more exciting things for a couple of reasons. One, Monsters Inc. was a phenomenal movie. You have a whole new land coming to it, which I don't know if it's supposed to be a replacement. Does it say anything here? Work on Monsters Land? I don't see anywhere here if it says it's going to be an extension or a replacement, but this piece right here, very important. It's a signature attraction, will be Disney's first ever suspended coaster and take guests through the factory door vault. So if they can make this an intense roller coaster, which I hope it is intense, it can be for kids, but if it's going to be suspended, that in and of itself will already make it intense. So really make it intense. Use the Disney magic to make it awesome, very in your face. Like I want it to feel like I'm going through those doors, because this is a perfect opportunity for an awesome roller coaster, and they have to really take this by the what's it called? Take it by the horns. I think if they pull this off, it can be phenomenal for Hollywood Studios, phenomenal for Disney. I mean, look how good Cosmic Rewind was in Epcot. Imagine a similar style, high quality ride like this with brand new technology, suspended roller coaster. I've only ever been on one suspended roller coaster, and that was Dueling Dragons, which then became Dragon Challenge and is now Hagrid's in Universal Studios. Islands of Adventure. And so getting back on something like this after so many years with all the new technology that we have, I think will be very cool. So super excited for this. Movie's awesome. I'm 1000% for this. I think it's a great idea. And then we have Star Wars Galaxy's Edge revamp. So all that stuff's really cool. Looks like a new storyline for Smuggler's Run. All right, then we have Epcot. So the pedal will once again be put to the metal when the reimagined test track reopens in 2025. With construction already in motion, the collaboration between Walt Disney Imagineering and Chevrolet will push innovation forward and celebrate humanity's enduring drive on the thrilling road to a brighter tomorrow. All I know, we're also going to get a new lounge inspired by the story, shapes, and enduring legacy of Spaceship Earth. Okay, for Test Track, let's talk about Test Track. So, Test Track in its current state is not great. I took my fiance to Epcot for like the first time, I think last December, and we went on Test Track, and she was not really that impressed. If it had been the original Test Track with the crash dummies and the cool pre-ride video, I think she would have loved it way more. I don't know if they're planning on bringing it back to that. If I had to take a guess, I'm going to guess no. But if they did, I'd be so surprised. I'd be so happy. Please, Disney, if you're listening to this, if you're watching my video, I know, small channel, but if you manage to find yourself here, then bring back the original Test Track, because a lot of Disney fans are going to love it. And if you haven't already seen the original video for that Test Track, I would just, that's what I would try to do. So let's do YouTube Epcot original Test Track. Let's see, old Test Track right here. Okay, I can't play too much, but this piece right here, this pre-ride video, phenomenal. One of the best pre-ride videos on any Disney attraction that I've been on, and I've been on many. This one's so fun, and if you get a chance to watch this video, do it. And if Disney again is listening, bring back the old Test Track, please. Do it.
Hold up, we'll even throw a few surprise tests in there.
Surprise test?
Yeah, pick one. Now, if this whole routine seems a bit extreme, You're absolutely right. That's what a test track is all about.
All right, then we got Disneyland Resort. I'll kind of skim through these a little bit because I'm in Florida. So while this is cool, I haven't even visited Disneyland. So we're gonna get some cool stuff for Avatar. Let's see. Are they going to get innovative new attraction that takes riders to the wide open seas of Pandora? So I'm really happy they're getting something like that. I think they deserve it because we have a similar thing in Animal Kingdom. They're getting the Avengers campus expansion. Very cool. I do know they have, if I remember correctly, they have like a Tower of Terror-esque attraction that's themed after Guardians of the Galaxy in Disneyland. So probably going to get just more of an expansion to that, which seems really cool. So we're getting Stark Flight Lab, a robotic arm system to simulate a flight experience. So when I think robotic arm, I think about the arm in oh my god, what's the name of the castle? What is the name of the castle in Harry Potter? Hogwarts. The Hogwarts ride in Universal, I think about that robot arm. And then it looks like we have Face to Face with King Thanos on the multi-world adventure on Avengers Infinite Defense. So that could also be really cool. Then you got Disneyland, you got Coco, they're getting Tiana's Bayou Adventure, another new Walt Disney World attraction, which doesn't really say much. Maybe a new show, audio animatronic figures at Walt Disney. We have some things about Paris, and I think that's it. I know I kind of skimmed through those last pieces, but I'll leave links to all these different websites I went on so you can skim these on your own time. But whew, that's about it. So we're at 30 minutes right now about. I'm looking at the timer on my recording, and yeah, that was a lot of talking, but I like to make these longer form videos, especially about things like this that I'm pretty interested in. And I know I spoke about it very fast, but that was kind of the point, to try and get through it as quickly as I could and provide a high level idea of what Disney is attempting to do. So if you like this sort of thing, you like Disney World, you like amusement parks, then, subscribe. It's not the only thing I'm going to be talking about, but I've seen that I have been talking about it, so who knows. I want to do more stuff with books and more stuff with Disney World, and again, just really anything that interests me. So I'm very, very excited with all the new things coming to the parks. All the movie stuff looks really cool, but especially the parks, especially with, Universal's Epic Universe coming out next year. There's just so much potential for Orlando to become even more of a vacation destination, and it's going to work wonders for the city. And again, it's just good to have competition because Disney was, in my opinion, getting a little too comfortable, even though, look at this. So let's see, number one visited theme park in the world, Disneyland Park. I don't know why California theme parks make the list of most visited. Number one visited theme park in the world. What is the most visited theme park in the world? Okay, Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom. So I guess I was surprised because I always thought it was Magic Kingdom here in Orlando, but they continue to beat Universal attendance. We'll see how Universal fares after Epic Universe, but the truth of the matter is Disney's comfortable because people keep going and they keep increasing prices, but people don't stop paying, and they continually beat the attendance records. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of years, but I do feel like we're entering a new age of theme parks and innovation. So very excited to see all that. I think right now will be a very cool time to be an engineer at one of these parks. So with all that being said, thanks a lot. Hopefully, if you made it to the end, that's awesome. Again, if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell icon, do all that fun YouTube stuff, and just be on the lookout for any new videos I post, because I think at this point I'm planning to do at least 3 a week, and I do have ideas for things that I want to talk about. So yeah, hope you guys all have a great Thursday or whenever you're watching, and take it easy. I will see you all next time. Later.